Welcome to Silver Award Training 101. This training about the Girl Scout Silver Award is for cadet Girl Scouts, their leaders, advisors, and parents. Girl Scout cadets are in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. You will learn what the award is, who can do it, deadlines, the steps to earning it, where to find the information about Girl Scout rules related to the project, what not to do, and what to do when you are finished. If you have not done so yet, please download the Silver Award Guidelines for Girl Scout Cadets for reference throughout the Silver Award process. This is the official guide from the National Organization Girl Scouts of the United States of America, or GSUSA. All girls earning this award must adhere to the rules and requirements in this document. It can be found on our website, and I will show you where that is in just a second. On this page, directly below the Silver Award Guidelines, you will find a link to NYPENN Silver Award requirements. Please make sure to download a copy of this document as well, paying special attention to what activities count towards your project hours, how many hours you can allocate for a specific activity, and how to contact counsel if you have any questions. The Girl Scout Silver Award is the highest award a cadet Girl Scout can earn. It gives you the chance to show that you are a leader who is organized, determined, and dedicated to improving your community. Here is an overview of the entire process. As we go through the training, we will go into detail of each step. In order to start, you must be a registered Girl Scout. The prerequisite for the Silver Award is to complete a journey, including the Take Action project. Then you will identify issues you care about, decide if you will work in a team or on your own, then explore the community to see what the needs are. The next step will be to pick your Take Action project, develop your plan, and submit for council approval. After you have approval, you will take action. When finished with your project, you will submit a final report for council approval. The last step is to celebrate all the hard work and accomplishments of earning a Girl Scout Silver Award project. The first requirement for earning your Girl Scout Silver Award is completing one cadet journey, including the Take Action project. This important step helps you build the skills you need to take on your award project and understand how to show leadership through the Discover, Connect, and Take Action keys. Here are all of the journey options currently available for cadets. Please be aware that none of the time completing the journey counts toward the hours for your Silver Award project. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go to the website to look at the rest of the steps as outlined in the Girl Scout Silver Award Guidelines. Here is how you find the guidelines on our website. So normally when you come to the website, this will be the page that you're on. It's our landing page. You could type up here in the search box, you could type silver, and that would take you, let's show you where that goes. You see the results for lots of the webinars, but then you see just the single silver. That is what you would want to click on, and that takes you right to our Silver Award page. The other way to get there is over here on the left, you see About, our program, Highest Awards. And when you click on that, you see over here on the left, you've got bronze, silver, gold, or you can scroll down and click on the silver pin. So that what we're going to do now is we're just going to go through the guidelines. We just talked about going on a cadet journey, so we've just covered step 1. We're going to go right on to step 2. Identify issues you care about. To solve any problem, you must first identify it. Start by asking yourself what matters most to you. Do you find yourself reading articles about endangered species? Do you worry about where homeless children sleep at night? Do you wish that younger students had a cheerful place to stay after school while waiting for their parents to pick them up? If so, what connections can you make between the issues that you care about and the issues in your own community? Start by jotting down some of the issues that concern you in the following issues chart. You're not choosing your project yet, just tuning into the topics that you care about. So you can come right here and start recording some of those things that you are concerned about. Then you're going to move on to step 3, which is build your Girl Scout Silver Award team. There are 2 ways to earn your Girl Scout Silver Award. You can work with a small team of 3 to 4 girls, or you can work on your own. If you use the small team model, each girl must take an active role in choosing, planning, and developing the team's Take Action project. Keeping the team small ensures everyone can fully participate. Or you can create and implement a project on your own. In both cases, you will partner with others in the community to complete your project. If you choose to work in a small team, please make sure to read over the tips here on page 4 to help make the experience as good as possible for all members of the team. Step 4 is explore your community. Now that you have started to think about the issues that concern you, it's time to do some research. On page 5 of the guidelines, you can learn about the communities that you are a part of, how to start gathering information about the needs of the community, and taking notes about people who might be able to help you. On page 6, you can use the chart to start keeping track of what you are learning. Once you have some better ideas of what some of the issues in the community are, it's time to start talking to people and getting in-depth information. You can talk to people you know, your neighbors, your teachers, and branch out from there. See the bottom here in page 6, and they give you some questions to start thinking about that you can use to talk to people. I also want to point out here on this page about safety. Make sure you're safe whenever you're talking to new people. Troop leaders and adults, make sure you're discussing safety tips with the girls. And if you are going to go online to do any kind of research, please remember to sign the Girl Scout Internet Safety Pledge. If you don't have the badge book, you can Google it and you can find that there as well. And of course, never give out your address or any other personal information when you're on the internet. The next step is step 5, and it is pick your Take Action project. So before you pick your project, review all of the information you've gathered. Choose a project based on what matters most to you or where you think you can create a positive change. Make sure the issue you pick is something you are able to do. If you need to narrow the focus, do so. The important thing to remember is each girl, whether individual or on a team, must be able to contribute 50 hours to the project. After you've chosen your project, make sure each girl is clear about what you want to do and why. Everyone should be able to easily answer these 3 questions. What is our project? Why does it matter? And who will it help? Let's look at an example. Our project is to create a lending library in a community where there is limited public transportation and no library nearby. It matters because research shows that reading increases vocabulary, improves analytical thinking skills, reduces stress, leads to higher grades, etc. It will help families in a neighborhood that have no public library and limited public transportation to be able to access books. You can also look at these questions at the bottom of the page and take some time to answer them before you start your project. We're not going to do it right now though, but you can do that on your own before you start. So the next step is develop your project. Use the questions on this page to help you get going and figuring out who will be doing what, who can help, what supplies you might need, how much it will cost, and where the money will come from. As we consider who can help, let's look at the library example again. You will need to have a space to house the lending library. You will need books, and you will need a way to check the books in and out. You look at spaces in the neighborhood where you want to place the library, and there is a church. You set up a time to go talk to the church about your idea. You mention all the benefits of reading you learned about in your research. You tell them why you picked that neighborhood and what you would like to do. You are educating the church about the idea and trying to persuade them to give you a small space for your lending library. You also need books, so you make posters and donation boxes explaining the project. You go to your school, local grocery store, and church asking if you can put a poster and donation box to collect books for your project. You educate all of the people in charge at these places, and your posters are telling the donors why they would want to donate and where the books are going. Once you get your library in place, you spread the word in the community to invite folks to the grand opening where you explain the library project, the process for checking books in and out, and when it is open. All of these activities are what we call the educational component of the project. How did you spread the word and educate the community about the issue you are solving? And you'll notice down here at the bottom of the page, it says, make it last. It says, you're investing a lot of yourself in the project, so of course you'll want to develop it in such a way that it keeps going even after you're done. Another word for this is called sustainability. You will need to make sure your project is sustainable. In the lending library example, the church agreed to have volunteers open the library a few hours a day. The team for the project, since they will be in the community for many more years to come, commits to working with the church to hold a book drive once per year to bring in new reading materials. On page 9, there are some examples of how to make sure a project is sustainable. We're going to go over some other examples in a minute, so again, I'll let you read those on your own. Now you'll see it says here, find a project advisor. We do not require a separate project advisor for the Silver Award, but it can be helpful to have spoken to someone that is an expert and can provide guidance on whatever it is project that you're doing. Typically for a Silver Award, your project advisor is probably your troop leader and or maybe a parent, someone who might be an expert in whatever it is that you're working on. The other thing on this page they talk about is making a global connection. Think about others who have worked on the same problem in the past, or check the internet to see how others around the globe deal with your issue. What can you learn from their approach? Consider how you may be able to extend the reach of your project into other communities besides your own. Are there ways to share your plan with other communities who are facing the same issue? Can you create a plan that other people could use to replicate your project in their communities? Let's take one last look. By this point, you're probably anxious to get started, but before you get going, let's take a step back and look at your project one more time. Is there enough work for each person to make 50 hours of contribution? Is this more than a community service project? Remember, that means it needs a sustainable plan, and we also want to see educational components. Can you easily answer the 3 questions? 1, what is our project? 2, why does it matter? 3, who will it help? Ask for feedback to make sure you haven't forgotten anything. This is now where you are ready to submit the proposal to Council for approval. You can find the Silver Award proposal request on the Silver Award page. After you submit the request, you will see a thank you note with a link on the form to your computer. You will also get an email with the same link. Please check your junk folder if you don't see it. We need one proposal for all girls working together on a project. All girls working on the same project must be listed in the proposal. You can't continue to work on the project until you have received your approval. This will usually take no more than a week. So now you have your approval. We're on to step 7. We're going to make a plan and we're going to put it into motion. It is time to get started. You may already have a list of activities developed from step 6. You can use the chart here to keep track of who will be doing what task and when it needs to be done to keep everyone on schedule. Each girl must also submit a log of hours. The log should include the date, the activity done, and how much time was spent on the activity. We will include an example of a log of hours when your project is approved and how it needs to look. But for right now, I'm going to show you quickly an example of a log of hours. So as you can see here, we've got the name and the project name. And then in this particular case, we've noted the date. On that date, the activity that they did, they identified some issues or project ideas for this Girl Scout Silver Award. They spent an hour on it, and you see here it says time type. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. And then they have 1 hour. Now, I just made this a quick example from one that was sent in, so they may have spent a little more time on brainstorming or finalizing plan ideas, but this one takes us right into the date, and then they did some fundraising. They spent 3 hours on fundraising, and then they added it to the 1 hour already, so they've got their tally of the total number of hours over here way on the right. So this will be the example that will be sent to you when your proposal is approved. And I just also want to point out down here on the bottom, and I'm going to show you where all these time types come from. But you can see they've got for fundraising down here at the bottom, they've tallied their fundraising time, and it's 5 hours. So I just want to point that out to you because now I'm going to show you where this time type comes from. So we're going to go back to our website, and on our Silver Award page, right below the guidelines, you see the NYPENN requirements for Silver Award. We're going to click on that, and we'll open that right up. So the top part of this document is all of the things that you find in the guidelines that we're going over right now. So we're not going to talk about that. We are going to focus here on the hours. So in this document is where you are going to find how we allow girls to allocate their hours. So what counts toward the 50 hours? So we've got research and planning before approval. You get up to 10 hours max. Some girls may take 5 hours. Some girls may take 2 hours. It may take 10 hours. You are only allowed to claim the actual number of hours that you put into planning. Next, we allow paperwork 5 hours max. So the paperwork we consider filling out the proposals, the final report. If you're going to do any fundraising and you fill out a money earning activity request, you could count that in your paperwork. So that's what we consider paperwork. Money earning hours, those are the actual hours that you would spend fundraising. So in the example we gave, you saw that it said under the category of fundraising, they used 5 hours max. If they needed to make more money, they would have to do it sort of on their own time. They're not allowed to claim any more than 5 hours on fundraising. And the reason that that is the case is fundraising should not be the focus of your project. The focus of your project really should be in the implementation and promotion of what it is you're trying to accomplish. What does not count towards your 50 hours? Completing the journey or required training, money earning activities over 5 hours, research and planning prior to approval of more than 10 hours, travel time. So if you need to drive a half an hour to go talk to the manager at Lowe's and a half an hour to get back, the only time that you are allowed to count for that would be the 10 or 15 minutes you spent talking to the manager. You are also not allowed to count any time working on the project by other people. So this document, again, is right on our website, and at the bottom of the document is also my contact information. If you have any questions or concerns, you please feel free to reach out to me by phone or email. So let's go back to our chart here. So at this point now, you have been working on your project, you've been keeping your log of hours, you've been keeping track of the hours in the way in which we allow you to allocate them, and now you really are very close to being finished. So the step 8 is to reflect, share your story, and celebrate. Consider sharing your story through social media, the local newspaper, a website, or blog. Share photos of what you did and how your project impacted the community. Now that you've completed your project, you can go to the website to request the final report form. Each girl must submit their own final report. They also need to submit their final report with their own log of hours. Each girl may not do the same exact hours, so you need to individually make sure you're keeping track of what your hours are. Again, you're going to get a thank you note on the browser, and a link will be sent in an email. Include any links to social media or promotion that you had in your final report. I love to see photos as well, and of course, don't forget to include your log of hours. We hold on to final reports until all girls on the team have submitted their final report. Please try to have everyone submit together or close to the same time if possible. Notify us if any team members did not complete the project so we aren't holding anyone else up. Again, we try to get back to you within a week, but it may take longer, especially in the month of September, when the deadline for all highest award projects is September 1st. Let's talk about deadlines. Girls earning the Silver Award have until September 1st of the year they finish 8th grade and are about to enter 9th grade to submit a final report. Technically, they are cadets until September 30th, but we are trying to build in a buffer to get the reports in and make sure all the requirements are included in the report. We often have to ask for additional information or have girls complete more hours. Once September 30th passes, the girls in 9th grade are no longer cadets, and only cadets can earn the Silver Award. We don't want to see a girl miss an opportunity because of a missing detail or lack of hours that can easily be remedied. Once your project is approved, the leader will receive an email with an attached letter that allows them to purchase the Silver Award pins. Make sure to celebrate. Your hard work has made a difference for someone in the community, and you have learned a great deal about yourself along the way. Your project may require some money to buy supplies, so let's go over money earning and in-kind donation policies. So the money earning policies, you may not fundraise for another organization, so you can't sell candy bars, candles, jewelry, etc. It cannot be the focus of your project, as we just discussed. You may fundraise for costs associated with your project as long as you have participated in the treats, reads, and more sale and the cookie sale. Allowable fundraiser ideas: can and bottle drives, bake sales, spaghetti dinners, car washes, or other service provided by the girls, items made by the girls to sell. So a good way to think about acceptable fundraising activities are a good that a girl might make, like items, crafts. She could make jewelry. We set up above, you can't sell jewelry. You can't sell jewelry from another organization. But if girls made jewelry, as long as they made it, you're good. So think of it as a good or a service. Car wash, raking leaves, babysitting, all of those things, the girls are providing a service. They would be acceptable fundraising opportunities. All fundraising opportunities must be a money earning activity request form must be submitted 3 weeks prior to the event so that we can approve it. In-kind donations. Girls may not solicit monetary donations of any kind. They may accept monetary donations that are unsolicited up to $100. If it's over $100 from any one person or organization, it needs to go through council and have an in-kind donation form needs to be completed for approval. Girls may request in-kind donations of supplies, but an adult must do the actual asking. The in-kind donation form, as I said, has to be submitted before the donations are secured. We will provide a letter to you to take to the donating organization with the needed tax information. And you can find our forms on the website under the forms link. Before I move on, I have had other troops ask me if they can use troop funds for a highest award project, be it bronze, silver, or gold. As long as all of the girls in the troop agree that they want to donate X amount of money of troop funds to a highest awards project, that is absolutely okay. Again, we're going to talk about community service, which is a one-time effort with a short-term impact versus a take action project, which identifies the root cause of an issue with long-term benefits and sustainable support. So let's look at the differences. One issue, families are going hungry. If you are doing a community service project, the solution might be to hold a food drive for families in need. But if you want to make something like this a take action project, one solution, come up with an easy to make recipe that includes typical items families get at the food pantry and provide the booklets when families get food. The troop will make it sustainable because they will commit to reprinting the booklets on a semi-annual or annual basis depending upon the needs of the food bank. Another issue could be racial tensions exist in the community. For a community service project, you could organize a one-time diversity celebration. But to make it a take action project where you would have a longer term impact could be to create or work with an organization that holds regular seminars, meetings, or workshops about racial tolerance and understanding other cultures. The issue, the Ronald McDonald House always needs supplies for its guests. And for those of you who don't know or aren't aware, the Ronald McDonald House is an organization that provides housing for families with children that are very ill in hospitals that are not near their homes. So they provide them with a very inexpensive place to stay that has kitchen facilities so that they really can save a lot of money and be close to their loved one. So one solution that would be a community service project would be to volunteer with a group of friends to make a breakfast, because that is something that Ronald McDonald House is looking for, is people to come in, buy the supplies, and make breakfast for the people that are staying with them. A longer term take action project could be to team up with an organization or two that charges its employees to wear jeans to work every Friday, with all of the proceeds going to Ronald McDonald House, and they could buy some of the needed supplies they need. And another possibility would be that you commit with your group to making breakfast on a regular basis. Maybe once a month, you say you're going to go in and you're going to make breakfast. And this particular example I really like because this is something that a troop in our council actually did. And they are also planning to bring some younger troops along to some of these breakfasts that they're going to continue to show them what they're doing and eventually have them take over. So we are at a point that you have heard everything right now about the Silver Award project that you will need to be successful. If you have any questions about your project or if you need any kind of assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can, as I said, you can send me an email or give me a call, and you will find my information on our website on the bottom of that NYPENN requirements document. Thank you all so much for attending, and please, now you need to take the quiz. Right below the video, you're going to find the Silver Award quiz. That is the way that I know that you have had the training. So please go and make sure that you take that. If you haven't taken that before you try to submit a proposal, I'm going to ask you to take it. So please go take the quiz, and I look forward to reading about your projects. Thank you so much.